Welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel like there should be an echo when I say that. It's Invisible Sunday. We're back in the actuality. We're hanging out with my friends, all but one of them anyway. We're missing Chris, and we wish him well. He's having a vacation, which I'm about to take one myself, so I can't really fault him too bad for that. Um, it's been, oh golly, it doesn't seem like it's been 2 weeks. It seems like it's been longer. But we're glad to be back, and I'm glad to have most of my cast with me. We'll go ahead and do some quick introductions for those of you that are watching this for the first time and haven't seen it, and don't know them, because they're awesome and you should get to know them. So, Jeff, let's go ahead and start with you today.
Well, hey y'all, my name is Jeff. I'm Jeffrey Boring here on Discord, and I'm playing Albion J. Finch, who is an established Waveheart apostate who walks with a secret companion. My secret companion is a little fox friend named Reynard, or Rainy.
And don't let him fool you, he's absolutely not boring. Joanne.
Hey, I'm Joanne. You can find me around the internet as Corsana or Angel Citadel Joanne. I am playing Claire Thespian, my mind went blank. It's been a week, okay? And I lost my character sheet, so there she is. A gallant goetic who listens to the whispers.
There we go. And last but not least, Kelton.
1 second, I don't know. All of a sudden, stupid AirPods. Let's just switch this to iMac. Okay, someone say something and see if I can hear you.
Can you hear it?
Yay, I can hear you. Okay. Hello, I'm Kelton. You can find me places as Vesnerax, and I'm playing Billy Burrows. He is an established empath of the Order of Weavers who plumbs the deeps of sleep, and this is going to be fun. Can't wait to get into it.
And I'm your host. I'm Josh Wallace. You can find me as Count Zero ASL or Angel Citadel Josh. I'm playing the GM, a crazy, sadistic weaver, I guess, would probably be the closest thing that this game has, who tortures his players. So, yeah, we're going to do some of that today. And let's get back into it. Who wants to recap where we ended up, or what we ended up doing last week?
I'll start.
Awesome. Go for it.
Well, last time we began speaking with was it Gabrian?
Gabrian, yes.
Gabrian. Last time we started with Gabrian, who is the spirit of an Arabast, and who has proven to be wise counsel in our endeavors. He encouraged us to seek the scattered pieces of our souls and assemble them so that we can find the multiphasic compass that will guide us to the temple of Vizsla herself. And when we left his company, we went on the run. We all got ourselves together for an adult platonic sleepover. in Claire's moving house.
A Saturnine magic carpet ride.
In the demon car.
What did I miss?
Nothing so far.
It's pretty
Well,
great.
that's as far as it's as far back.
We
as
learned
I
of like specific locations where
Yes.
fragments of our souls would be on certain suns, but there's a lot more research to do. But we have a good start.
Yep. So you had a dream and you pulled somebody in from your dream.
Mhm.
And then went to meet him at Mentors, and he gave you some books. And Claire had an interesting dream.
Who's your daddy now?
Who's your daddy now? So not only do you have the thaw chasing you, you have a family reunion trying to happen.
Yeah, we're not gonna have that happen unless I get a sword of McStabby stab. I'll take the BF or the BFG from Doom would be nice. I could
There you
totally
go.
be down with that.
There you go. All right, and you are currently roughly an hour down the stairs in Mentors in a shrine to what appears to be Visla with your friend the Nose.
Because the nose knows.
The Nose knows. So Sumner the Golden gave you a series of 8 books. And in those books, you are finding locations of interest on different suns. And you have gone through the blue, the red, and the green suns, if I'm not mistaken.
We also checked the silver and discovered that where we had went was exactly where we needed to go.
Yay for serendipity. And that brings us to where we are now. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to. Have we finished copying the books? Because I was making copies of the books.
We can go ahead and fast forward to when you're done copying the books. That's fine.
If I don't know, however long that takes her, I think I would continue researching other locations.
Okay. Where do you
I
want to
don't
start?
know.
That's gonna.
Oh
It's
gosh, what
gonna
did we
take her
do?
probably. You guys have been there about 5 hours. It's probably going to take another couple hours at least to finish.
So yeah, we did green, red, blue. Gosh, what's just next in the order if you're traveling the path of suns? Not that it matters.
Indigo,
Yeah. Well, so don't.
gray. We
Not
need
worried
to
about
get to
that.
gray at some point.
Yeah, we. Yeah, the pale we need to do, and the gold
then the
sun
gold.
as well. Yep.
So where would you like to start?
Pale.
Okay. You crack open the book that's kind of an off-white and start reading. Are you applying any magic to this, or are you just going to see what stands out to you? I know Albion had marked probably 4 or 5 different places that
Hmm.
seemed of interest.
Yeah, I think I'm just researching and saving my magic, so it will take longer. But I want to save those for 3 bene. And I had some kind of +1 or something from Albion doing his speed read thing first.
Yes, you did. So go
So,
ahead and make a
just straight
roll.
up. Okay. I got a 5.
Okay. That's 5 with Albion's +1.
No, it's before, so it's a 6 total.
6. All right.
And I will actually. What would it even be? Oh, yeah, I think I spent my intellect bene already. So, yeah, 6 total.
All right. As you spend the remaining time that the books you're copying, reading about the Pale and learning more about the dead than you really wanted to, you run across a description of actually, it's a deity. Her name is Golgallo. And I'll go ahead and put that in chat.
Appreciate that.
There you go. Golgallo is described as creation's bard. And she hangs out, unsurprisingly for a bard, at something called the Eternal Party. It's a never ending, never empty, never quiet party. And she dances. And that's what she does. She dances, and um, somehow music is changed by her dance. It's a very aesthetically beautiful kind of a scene, a change, a dance, and you know the book says that it's worth going to see.
Did I make? I mean, what is the connection I'm seeing to soul fragments, or is it just noteworthy?
You're not seeing any connection to soul
Okay.
fragments. The what caught your eye was creation's bard.
Okay, that actually makes sense. That sounds fascinating anyway, especially since I'm a musician.
Claire, Albion, what are you guys doing?
Okay.
Well, I'm just continuing to go through the books at the moment. A little bit uncomfortable with our opinion, but
Which one?
appreciative appreciative of his willingness to be helpful in spite of his uh, tribal affiliations. Yeah, mostly just reading. I'm looking through. I guess I can give give it a shot trying to find the. I think Albie is kind of fascinated with the gray.
Okay.
And just how hard it is to know anything about it. And so I think I would be reading, trying to find any real locations within the gray, any true locations within the lie that might hold something that looks like a piece of our souls.
Okay. So there's a couple things that stick out to you as you read about that, or as you read with an eye towards that. Number one, the physical locations of the gray
Mm.
that are discernible, I guess, is a good way to put that. I mean, as discernible as anything is in the shadow,
Mm.
are all on the night side. The gray itself is completely shadow. Now, what does stick out to you and what does seem to pique your interest is that there is a treatise on shadow mementos. And what sticks out to you is the idea that every single Visley who has ever lived, whether they were born in Shadow or born somewhere else and went to Shadow, or have never been to Shadow at all, has a Shadow memento.
Okay. So, do I think that this might mean that the piece of our soul that we have, that is our shadow memento, is the fragment that is from Shadow?
It just might be.
Okay. And we haven't then found our. I think Albion would be a little shocked. I think Albion feels like this fragment of his soul that he's had with him was a piece of indigo, but now I'm wondering where exactly my piece of indigo soul might be. So yeah, I think I would put away my book and start working on places in indigo that.
Yeah, that's fascinating. You
Okay.
skipped it.
Claire, what are you doing?
You said it's been about 5 hours.
Yeah, and you've got about 2 left.
I'll probably have replaced my demon at some point because his summon's only good for 3 hours.
Okay.
So I probably am bribing the new. I've probably bribed the new demon, and I'm keeping an eye on him.
Okay. So are we, is this like a wrestling tag team kind of a thing, or
Yes.
tag me in, boss, tag me in. I can copy it.
Well, considering I've probably got a handful of low-level demons trying to curry favor at this point because of the stuff that has happened in my house, yeah.
There are, in fact, several demons that are trying to curry favor with you.
So yeah, I'm gonna have a new one copying a book and send the other ones back to where they came from because I don't need them underfoot right now.
Okay. Are you going to take time to study any of the books, or are you going to wait until they're all copied?
Claire is going to wait until they're all copied. Since they're reading the books and I've got the demons copying the books, I'm going to summon Teacup and have her go check. No, not Teacup. I'm going to summon one of the ghosts to have them check to make sure that the production in the pail is going fine.
Okay. You do, and they go check, and they come back, and it takes about an hour or whatever, but it appears to be going fine, and they are going through the plays one by one. The actual ghosts doing the plays seem to enjoy doing what they're doing, almost as if they'd missed being thespians since they were in the Pale, and it never occurred to them to get together and put on plays or anything like that until you came along. So they're having the time of their life.
Excellent. I will share this news.
Did they happen to bring back any information about how people are responding to this broadcast?
They don't know.
And okay. And neither do we, but I bet it's interesting.
You've been stuck in a basement of Venters for several hours.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to send a message to the most important person of all, the person who was actually kind of excited. I'm going to send a message to the Queen of the Pale asking how she's feeling about the plays being broadcast. Because I know damn good and well that she's going to be listening.
Okay.
I know that face. I'm
going to stop you right here. How exactly are you going to get a message to the Queen of the Pale?
I have a ghost that I summoned. I'm going to write a letter and ask him to deliver it to her.
Okay. He disappears with your letter and goes off to the Queen of the Pale.
Do you want me to roll my magic dice of magicness to...
Why, yes, I do. I'm also going to draw a card.
Okay, I'm going to throw a bene at it. Oh, look, it's an 8 with the bene. It's a 9. Oh, my.
Okay.
You bought it for me.
The card is Enticing Jewel, meaning greed, money, beauty, goals, success. The light at the end of the tunnel, the brass ring, the center of the target, the object of our desire lies before us in the form of the enticing jewel. We want it. We have to have it. It represents beauty, but the side of beauty that demands attention and probably possession. It is the beauty that can sometimes call to our darker nature. It brings out greed, ambition, and selfishness. Okay. You don't hear anything. And the demon finishes copying the books. And there's no response from Empress Jalad.
Well, she is a very busy woman, so...
Yes, she is.
All right. Once we're finished copying, I will pack the copies up and plan for us to head out and go get food, because by this time I'm sure Claire has went from hungry to hangry.
Okay. As you leave with Sumner, there are a group of about 20 of his people that are walking down the hall that you came in, and are blocking the way out. Sumner steps forward and growls, "What is the meaning of this?" "You have brought unbelievers into our home and led them to our sacred shrine." "That is my right. I am the Golden. You know this, Arcus." "The council, I speak for the council. Sumner the Golden, you are hereby banished from the stacks." You guys have seen Sumner a couple of times now. And as I'll just go ahead and say it, as ugly as this guy is, you've never seen him look anything other than fairly calm, actually. He looks to be trembling in rage. "You dare exile me?" "The lady will leave you." "Come, we must go." And he walks towards them and shoves them out of the way. Like, you look at this guy and you think, beanpole. He hurls four of them into the rest of them, two with each arm, and they part as he walks through. The rest of them kind of, get smashed back against the side walls of this. Like, this guy's the Hulk or something underneath these robes. And he just walks off.
I'm gonna follow him.
Claire's gonna tap her lower lip. The stacks, is that the entire library or just this area down here?
They don't answer you.
Oh,
They're busy trying to pick themselves up off the floor.
Some of them are unconscious.
she's gonna wait until they get up to answer her. She's not gonna move until they're up. Once they're up and she gets the answer to her question, then Claire is going to do something.
Uh-oh.
Claire has issues.
"I don't have to tell you anything. You don't belong here."
Yes, but you just banished the one person that I actually respect and care for, and whose authority I do acknowledge over me and mine. So, again, is the stacks the entire library or just this area? It's a very important question.
"The stacks is where we live."
So not this area of the library, just your home.
This is our home.
Okay. He was right though. The lady is going to leave you, and Claire is going to summon. Let me find his name, because I have Demhana Angeliesto, the big guy.
Oh shit.
The room that we just left.
Oh boy.
Collect everything in it and take it to my car. In exchange, I will get you an entire cow, 3 chickens, and 40 crystal orbs. All of it moved to my room unharmed. Do we have a deal?
10 cows.
10 cows it is. And I got a 9. And I'm throwing 2 bene at it. So 11. And a 7 on the magic die. So
Okay. The demon goes into the shrine and begins collecting the books and
the statue. Everything in that room. Like when he leaves, that room's going to be completely bare rock. And
Okay.
Claire's just going to stroll up and catch up to what's his butt, put her arm around him and says, "Don't worry, you're going home with me. So's your lady, but you're coming home with me."
Okay. You hear shrieks of horror as this demon is beginning to collect up everything. The entrance to that room is blocked by a wall of flame that actually does not touch any of the wood around it. It's just if you it will affect living flesh. And as one of them finds out, it goes to race into the room, and then as it gets about an inch away from the wall, he stops and flings himself back on the floor and crawls away because his eyebrows were burned off and his robe caught on fire. Yeah. Do not worry about me, Sumner said.
No. See, you're my friend. I respect you. I respected your authority. And you were doing right by me and mine, and what they did was not okay. So you are going home with me so that you have a home, and your lady's coming too, because I'm a bitch that way.
He looks at you like he wants to say something and then just shakes his head and leads you out.
Go Edix, pissing people off every day.
All right. You collect I'm assuming you collect your What is the Dark book.
Yes.
And then you head out into Mentor's Square once more. He stops at the entrance and looks back into the library, and there's a really sad expression on his face. And he slowly pulls the robe off over his head revealing what looks to be clothes that, they can't be less than 100 years old. Patchwork and ratty edges, and like this guy didn't care at all about fashion. And he slowly folds the robe in a neat square, and walks over and sets it down next to the door, and then turns and walks out of the building.
Claire will take him to her house.
Okay.
Billy was gonna ask him, what does this even mean for you, Sumner?
I am on my own. It is not the first time such has happened to one of ours. However, as the spokesman for the lady among our people, it is the first time that we've recorded that it happened to such a one. Our people have fallen to the shadow, and I could not stop it.
What
You're
are
not
your
alone.
people exactly?
The children, of course. You've called us by another name, the children of the stacks, have you not? It was our charge to care for the knowledge, the collected knowledge of Saturnine. To make it available to all.
Mm. That's not unlike what we're doing. Not at all. Look,
He,
you,
he smiles. So the lady told me. Eh,
um,
eh.
nobody laughs at that one. What are you gonna do?
He's coming with us. He's not alone. He has
Yeah, I know,
guns.
but
He can rebuild.
can we help you with
We'll help.
anything? You did us a big favor, so it's only fair.
I've done what the lady asked me to do. Nothing more. She
All right,
will
then.
take care of her own.
Yeah, that's wild. Um, uh, I want to know how people are reacting to the broadcast. There's not like riots in the
Well,
streets or anything,
well,
but
you're jumping ahead just about a minute and a half.
okay. So
So,
let's just roll on then.
oh Jesus!
What?
All right, so we're drawing another card,
Oh,
and God, I love this deck. The card is revolutionary.
fucking hell.
Secrets, ravens, books, flame. It means lust, sexuality, change, and destruction. Sovereign of the family of secrets, the revolutionary is a force for change, quite possibly the least secret of the family. The revolutionary is brazen and bold, changing what needs changing, even if through destruction or violence. The strong sexuality of the revolutionary is obvious, but this aspect is quite separate from the other. There is no suggestion of sexual violence here, but instead sincere passion and mutual attraction. Make a perception check and take an extra +2 for it.
Me
All of you.
or everybody? Okay. 7.
12. Yeah, because I'm going to throw Benny at it. So it brings from 9 to 10 plus 2 is 12.
Yeah,
Because
I
if you
got.
drop perception check, we die.
I got an 11.
Awesome.
13.
Mentor's Square is busier than you have ever seen it or heard it. There must be 200, 300, 400 people here milling about.
Whoa.
And as you're walking out of Mentors, you hear a conversation. Were you listening? The play about the snake and the gardener. It was amazing. I've never heard anything like it. Yeah. It was it's got to be an allegory or something. I did you catch who wrote it? I don't know. No, they didn't say. They didn't say. I've got to find that play. I need to read it again. What do you think it means? Well, obviously it's about a fight, but what are we fighting? What's going? And you hear snippets of similar conversations all throughout Mentor's Square. As you're walking out, you see at least 30, maybe 40 people going in to Mentors. And you catch a snippet of that conversation. It sounds like they're looking for that play. You see people coming out and exchanging in the crowd, and finally, as you're leaving Mentors Square, there is a bright flash, and you see 4 Fa.
Mm.
And a booming voice echoes throughout the square. Return to your homes. This is a place of peace, of quiet.
How is the crowd responding to that?
They stop and they look, and you can see the ones closest to the thaw back up. They're not stupid. They know that the thaw are dangerous. They know that
Mhm.
it standing up to this group is not a smart idea.
Claire's going to quietly take copies of the playbook out of her pocket and pass them around.
Brilliant.
Okay. All right. You do.
And has my big boy finished his task yet?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna start walking to my car.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
Albie is going to follow. I don't think this is something he wants to get terribly involved in as far as
Mm-mm.
combat goes, but yeah, he follows Claire. Takes a
As
few
long
of
as
the.
the thaw aren't between me and the car.
No.
Like if they are, I'm going to circle around them to get to my car. I'm not just going to walk up to them because I'm not
Yeah, and I'm
stupid.
watching them very closely, ready to weave something if they seem to be paying attention to us at all. But if
They're
we're just
not.
kind of blending in with the crowd, then I'm just going to blend in with the crowd and go about my day.
You're fine.
Yeah, as we're walking, I'm going to be handing out because I probably got still about 60 or 70 copies of the playbook, and I'm going to be passing those out as I walk along.
Okay.
You
Viva la
managed.
revolution!
You managed to get rid of most of your copies. As you are leaving Mentor Square, and heading towards your car, you hear some screaming, and your head kind of whips around. You can't see what's going on, but there's another bright flash.
Okay.
That's not good.
I'm
Is it
going
more
to.
Thaw or
You can't tell.
I'm gonna send.
There's several hundred people between you and that flash.
I'm gonna send Rainy. I'm gonna use another point of view and send Rainy in there to see what that was and come back and tell me.
Okay. It doesn't take him more than about 2 minutes before he comes back. The golden ones are gone, and there are people in the square crying.
Golden ones. Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
the Thaw have left, but now there are people crying. We need to go see what's happening.
Yeah, we do. Unfortunately, we do.
yeah, we're gonna go check.
Okay. You head towards the commotion, and when you get there, you find a couple of people not next to each other that are down on the concrete ground and weeping, and several of the people are trying to comfort them. It looks like, but you hear one of them cry out, "But he didn't do anything!"
What happened?
They took him. They took my boy.
Your boy?
Is this one of the kids that I gave a buck to, or just a random kid?
Just a random kid. And the woman looks to be in her late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Did they say anything?
No, they just took him.
What was the boy's name?
Wow.
Tommy.
Tommy. Can I get a description?
She looks up and begins to weave a spell. And you see the image of what's probably a 16, 17-year-old kid. Brown hair, short brown hair, straw patch. Looks young, thin, young. Really bright eyes. Like You know how when you look at a picture and you can just see how intelligent somebody is just in the eyes? He looks like that.
Want to use my spell, Hunt the Lost. I want to get the boy's full name from her. I want to use spell Hunt the Lost. Using the new sphere, I learned the location of one being whose name I know. If they are within 5 miles, I learn their direction and distance. If they are farther than 5 miles away, I learn a place name. And it's level 5 plus 1 die.
Man, that spell is paying off.
And let's see, I got a 4 on the mundane die and a 9 on the other dice. That's a 9 and a 14 total.
Okay. She gives you his name. His name is Thomas Winterbow. And you do not get a sense of his direction. What does come back is the name The Oubliette.
Okay.
All right. I was able to do this in the silver. Do you have something that belongs to him?
She kind of pats herself, her pockets absently, trying to see, and then shakes her head.
Does he have hair on a hairbrush at your house?
Probably.
Well, let's get it and see if I can pull this trick off again. Sometimes lightning strikes twice.
Okay. She takes you to her home. Her home is like a fairy tale cottage almost. In the middle of what's like a modern developed, brick buildings and modern looking homes. There's this log cabin, right? And it's maybe 2 rooms big. She takes you inside and into a small room. It can't be more than 10 by 10. It's got a small bed in it. It's got a single dresser, and on the dresser, yeah, there's a hairbrush. Sure.
Okay, Claire is going to pick up one of the hairs because teenagers aren't exactly the cleanliest. And she's going to say, okay, we're not going to do this in here. Come on. And she'll take the woman to her car and go in her car and then
Okay.
go into the summoning room.
All right.
Gives me a +2 to my summonings,
Okay.
according to the rule book. Here we go.
Roll high.
How about a 9?
So what's the total?
Brings throwing a Bene at it brings it up to 10 plus the 2 of the summoning room brings it up to 12.
That is not high enough.
What about with the magic flux?
You got a flux? 1 dice?
No, both the magic dice and this dice,
The experimental die?
the experimental die flux.
You've got 2 flux.
Yeah, so how fucked is Claire?
Really. Hang on.
But the important question is, do I get the boy?
Boy.
No, you don't get the boy.
Uh-uh.
Give me the boy! I just want the boy!
You can't have the boy.
Why can't I? Do I have to actually go there and beat people up? Because I will.
Sure, but you got to find it first.
I've got my weaver. He'll just open the door.
Crud, where's my flux chart?
Well, if the DM can't find it, I guess nothing happens.
You're cute.
I'm super cute.
All right. As you complete your summoning,
Can I at least get a location?
you have a location.
The
The
oubliette.
oubliette.
Can I get a little bit more than just the oubliette?
No, you cannot. As you finish your summoning, there is a loud, like a bang, like an explosion that echoes in this room. And a bright white flash that causes everybody. Are you all in this room? Or is it just Claire and Tommy's mom?
Probably just Claire.
Okay. You hear it from outside then, and you see the light flash from under the door.
I'm going in now.
Claire's hair has turned completely white.
Yeah. Everything okay?
They don't want to give him back. So we're going to have to go take him.
Think
Dang it.
that is a noble and worthwhile thing to do for someone, but I don't think this is our fight at the moment. I think we've got other things that we have to do.
Yes, but there's nothing that says that we can't work on this issue at the same time while we're traveling, research and the like.
I agree.
I'm kind of getting
Finding
tired of the thought of just randomly taking people because they feel like it. And if I can remove that ability from them, I'm more than happy to do it.
sounds wonderful, but I don't think that right now we are in any position to go raiding someone's oubliette to try to rescue one child whose location you do not know within that compound.
The problem
I
is
think
that
that
I don't think it's just one child there.
I
Yeah, they took
completely
him,
agree.
but how
But
many more
I'm
people
sure
are
you're
they
right
Claire,
about
trapped?
that.
Claire, there's no way that we can go up against an army of the Thaw and
Not yet.
protect that many people and get them all somewhere safe. What we need to do is deal with the problem at hand. If we cut out the root,
Hmm.
the whole plant will die. We are not looking around at the scraggly black and white jazz musician. He, the redheaded queer apostate in his tweed suit and um, you know, the earnest and scrappy goetic standing in front of him. I think Albion says we are not a crack team of experts who can break into a high security facility and extract with any degree of certainty anyone, anyone at all, Claire. We are we are three people who are driving around in a Volkswagen hoping that the Thaw don't come after us.
They're already coming after us. And you're right, we're not there yet. But I think it's a worthy goal to work towards.
I
Sure,
think
killing the root might solve part of the problem, but it's not going to get all those people home either. I think we need to focus on getting
I
the people
agree.
home.
I think that there are many, many people in this world who are capable of doing as much and who
Hmm.
will be more than happy to step up when
You know what we
we
can do
have
though?
settled some of the problem.
We
Besides,
can
we
let
just got to get in.
everybody know who um, Thomas Winterbow is. We have a broadcast station,
You have a broadcast
and we
station.
can expose exactly what they did. If there is somebody, a crack team of experts, as you say, out there that can help, maybe they will. And at
That's
least the Thaw can't get away with this shit without anybody knowing about it.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to summon a ghost and have him go report it as breaking news. And then I'm going to go to the mom and say that I can't bring him back yet, but I'm going to get there to where I can. Get the word out. Anytime the Thaw takes somebody, send me a message. I'll make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Okay.
And I got a
I feel
9
like
on
this is a
summoning my ghost.
strategy. I feel like this is a strategy that might be beneficial and that we can accomplish.
Yeah, but Claire is going to fully plan
They
on
can't
getting
abduct
big enough
everybody.
to summon people from anywhere.
Amazing.
All
Now
right.
what, kids?
I think it would probably behoove us to get somewhere safe. I need to do a bit of research and prepare myself for what's coming.
Yeah, we'll drop the mom back off at home. Get the word out on the broadcast station, and then Claire is going to start researching. We're going to make sure that what's his butt is set up in a room with the lady having a room of worship for him, and then maybe opening up a section to be his library or something.
Sumner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then letting him know that if he has kids that he trusts and cares for and wants to get them out of the line of fire, they're more than welcome to join us on the boat or on the join our traveling circus of trouble.
All right. He does not. He actually does not really have any friends other than you guys at this point.
Okay.
And you know what? I think that's where we're going to take our break today. So we will be back 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll see where our Vislay decide they want to go next. Thanks for watching so far. Hang with us. We'll be back shortly. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are rolling in the Volkswagen Beetle. So, you guys have downtime. What would you like to do?
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that Albie is going to be working on learning that spell that he found at the Order of Honed Thought color door. And I think he will be working on some other spell. I'm not sure exactly what.
All right. Clear?
Billy will be finishing up his next level as a weaver, so he will probably take off. That this one means he needs to go to his weaver's cell and like teach people sort of below him, so to speak, how to use the weaves that he's mastered and stuff like that. And then he will take the infinity aggregate.
Okay. Claire.
Well, Claire is going to do pick up 2 character arcs. Justice for getting justice against the Thaw for all the people that they've kidnapped. And then learn, because she's going to learn how to stab people with a sword. And it should be getting close to time for me to go talk to that Goetic of Stabbiness, whose name I can't remember and I can't find it in my notes.
Savion Clay. And he's
There
not
he
a
is.
Goetic of Stabbiness. He's a Goetic that may be able to point you in a direction to find something that will help you in your fight against your sister.
No, for a Thaw killer.
Okay, for a Thaw killer.
So yeah, because I have a meeting with him, so I'm gonna go meet him while Albion is studying his spell and Billy goes to his cell. We'll swing by the Weaver area and let Billy go to his cell, and Albion's gonna study his spell, and then I'm gonna go hop off and meet up with Savion.
All right. Billy, do you want to have scene or do you just want to exposition it?
I think we should exposition it. This is something that has been technically taking place over a longer time. This is just like the final kind of step. And part of it would be meeting with his cell. That's what he's been doing that on and off whenever we have downtime. And so we don't need a scene. He's just in keeping with all of his themes and the secret that he's trying to learn. He keeps wanting to cast weaves that go farther, seek things, find things, and travel and stuff like that. So he's meditating and weird stuff in his dreams, and it finally just kind of clicks into place. But it's not really a scene. It's just there now.
Okay. So we'll say that you are with them. You go ahead and you take that time. We'll call that a couple of days, actually, where you're working hands-on with lesser weavers and helping them in their aggregates and using yours, and expanding their minds as to how to do it. So go ahead and take your new level. Spend the acumen and we're good there. Claire. Savion Clay. All right. So I'm going to draw a card. And the card is Doctor. Doctor is the nemesis of visions, swans, blades, and water. It means wisdom, health, dependence on others, and disease. Doctors help, but it's a help we'd rather not need. No one wants to see a doctor. We only see them if something's gone frighteningly wrong. They have knowledge, perhaps secret knowledge, and insight few can match. God damn. But these are secrets about disease and death. Can one delve so deeply into such topics and not come out affected? The doctor is the nemesis of Vision's family. This enigmatic, genderless figure is a harbinger of illness and plague, but the possibility of succor or even remedy from the diseases they foretell. There is inherent contradiction to the doctor, then. They are the hero that we really do not want. You know, somehow I think Bruce Cordell would laugh at that being the description of his character, Savion Clay. The hero that we really do not want.
Alrighty then.
I find that profoundly amusing. Okay. You find yourself in Fartown, outside of a large, almost mansion-like structure. It's easily 3 stories, impeccable architecture, but very, very fundamentally correct is a good way to put it. It's not artsy. It's not, very fluid. It's not that it's not beautiful. It's not that it's not good architecture. It's just very angular and functional and geometric in nature. The massive cherry doors that are in front have several stairs leading up to them. The yard in front is small, not more than 20 by 20 on a side. You can't tell if there's a yard in back or not, but it has a black wrought iron fence around the front to separate it from the walkway. So that is the house that you find yourself at.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up and knock on the door.
The door opens, and you see a small, red-skinned imp with patchy, curly, kind of black hair, long, pointed ears, and a very angular face, pointed chin, short nose, a slight hunch to his back, although he still stands 4.5 feet tall, perhaps. You can see a long, thin tail sticking out from his posterior, and he looks up at you and yes, how may I help you?
Greetings. I have a meeting with Savion Clay.
Ah, you must be Miss Thespian. The master's been waiting for you. Please follow me.
I follow him into the house.
He leads you into a large lounge off the side of the main entrance. It actually puts Kudash's to shame. The furniture is immaculate and extremely extravagant, as much as it's comfortable. And sitting in a chair by the fire, and it's a lit fire. You see a man. He's wearing a lavender suit. You see several chains hanging off of him. He's wearing a necklace. He's got a pocket watch sitting on his head with under a fairly thick brown head of hair. He has two round spectacle lenses that are tinted, but they're tinted different colors. One is a very light gray. The other is a very faint rose color. And he watches as you walk in, and then he stands up. Ah, Miss Thespian, it's an honor to meet you. Please come in, sit. Have you had refreshment? Can I get you anything?
Oh, that would be lovely, thank you. And the honor is mine. I'm very pleased to be here.
Ichthus, go and get our guest something, a drink perhaps as well. You
Just water will be fine.
perhaps a snack plate and some water then. Thank you. And he waves the imp away, and the imp turns around. He leaves. Please come in. And he gestures towards another chair that's facing him, and then returns to his seat and sits down.
Okay. I'll move to the chair facing him, sweep my skirt under me, and sit down and cross my ankles, all ladylike, because I'm a lady most of the time.
Most of the time. How may I help you today?
Your name was given to me as someone that might be able to assist me. I'm looking for specific abilities that will ease some issues I'm having with golden-faced people.
You see his eyebrows raise, and he tenses his fingers in front of him, and well. And who is it that sent you to me?
Aroweth. His name was Aroweth.
Savion blinks a minute, and I'm sorry, did you say that the Duke of Demons sent you to me for such a solution?
Well, dads like to play their tricks on their daughters.
At that moment, the imp comes back in with a small snack plate and a glass of water and sets it on the table next to you, Claire, and leaves. During that time, Savion is silent, but he's looking at you with a very almost confused glance. Finally, when the imp leaves and the door closes again, he snaps his fingers, and you see a golden edging that races around the door and the room itself. And he takes off his glasses, folds them up, and he puts them in a vest pocket. So you wish to go to war with the Thaw.
Well, I've kind of already started the fight. I threw the first snowball. It is at our doorsteps now, and I want to ensure that I am well armed and prepared.
How interesting.
We started a little broadcasting station, and it's kind of started becoming quite popular, and the Thaw are very displeased. Of course, summoning a demon on top of one and having it squish one of them was also displeasing for them. So, as you can see, I've already picked the fight. Now I just want to ensure I win it.
He stands up and he walks over to the wall where there's a what looks to be a radio receiver, and he turns it on. He starts fiddling with the dials, and as he stops, you hear in dramatis persona a play, an audio play being read. I'd wondered who this was. You'd say it was you.
Me and some of my companions, who I'm sure you'll understand that I don't name names. I don't want them to be in any more danger than they already are.
He laughs. Oh, little girl, you have no idea how much danger you're in. I have charged into the red and infuriated demon after demon there. Many of them still curse my name. And I could walk there without any of my accoutrements and be safer than you're going to be.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but what's life without a little excitement? You know?
He turns off the radio and claps. I like you. You've got an attitude on you. Um, Killing Thaw is not something to be taken lightly. You really have two choices. You can either overwhelm them with magic, or you can make yourself essentially impervious to it and take them on in martial combat.
I'm liking this idea.
Which do you prefer?
She's gonna sit there and start thinking about it.
The first you're not likely to do by yourself.
I'm leaning a bit more towards the martial combat because I'm also having a family reunion. My sister's a little pissed at me right now, too.
Don't we all lean towards martial combat when we have a family reunion?
Oh, my dear girl. She is your sister? Oh, that's too rich.
Yeah, I kind of caused her a few issues, and now she wants my heart. And not in the I love you, my sister way, but more like she wants to eat it, is my understanding of what's going on at this point. But yeah, I think I want to be able to stab people a lot, repeatedly.
The rumors about your sister are not good.
Well, all the rumors about my sister do have quite a bit of grain of truth to them, according to dear old dad.
Is that so? I would not have thought someone as capable as she would be so easily seduced by the dark. That is worrisome. He begins to pace the room for several long minutes with his hands folded behind his back and staring up at the ceiling. Martial combat. Well, I might know someone who has the ability to make something for you that would give you a chance. There are no guarantees, of course. You must be careful, and I cannot assure your success. But he's quite skilled.
Nothing in life is about ensuring success, but only giving me the best option, the largest chance. After all, I need to learn if I'm going to seek justice for those taken by the thaw.
Indeed. He slowly walks over to you and he reaches into a pocket and he pulls out a card and hands it to you. And on the card is an address, also in Saturnine, and a name. And the name is Seru.
Are you going to put that in chat or spell it for me?
It is in chat.
Because I'm taking notes.
Works for me. Notes are good.
And he'll be able to teach me or provide me with a teaching aid? Maybe a sword? Can you point me in the direction of a sword, too?
He can make a sword for you. And
Excellent.
he can probably also teach you how to use it.
Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else I may do for you, my dear?
Not at the moment, but is there anything I can do for you? After all, you've done me a large favor.
He smiles and gestures gamely at you. When next you see your father, give him my regards.
Of course. It probably will only be a day or two, but I will be happy to.
You are welcome in my home.
Thank you. You are also welcome in mine when it stops for more than 5 minutes. One jump ahead of the hitman.
He smiles at you and then reaches up and snaps his finger again. And that same golden flash um, runs back through the room, but in reverse.
Okay. She's going to bow to him politely and vacate the building and go to the address for Saru. And then you can hop over to the other two if they want to do stuff.
All right. Albion.
There we are. Well, hello. Albie has been studying and has been focusing on Color Door, obviously, to help us get where we're headed. And then also has looked into a spell called Shift and Landscape. Kind of makes everything around a bit more difficult to pass through, confusing, so that we can get away a little more easily, should we need to. And now I'm still at zeros. Having some drinks, introducing people to Raynard, just having the best time he can while being as circumspect as he's able.
Okay. Um, is there anything at zeros in particular that you're trying to accomplish, or you're just relaxing?
Relaxing. It's the first time and maybe the last time he's going to get to just hang out and meet strangers for a while. So he's just kind of settling in, trying his best to savor these last moments before everything goes haywire.
The calm before the storm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You finish with your Weaver cell. What would you like to do next?
Probably check in with my friends here because we've got some work to do.
Okay. So, are you going to go to zeros with Albion? Are you? Let's see. You're
That's a
going,
good bet. Rather than spending sorcery on some, tricksy way of finding them, I can always look for him at zeros. He's there often. It's a good place to start.
And Claire, you're going directly to Sirius.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Zeros is kind of busy. You hear, you overhear quite a few conversations talking about this Thomas Winterboat fellow that supposedly this Thaw took, and how he was an innocent, and that doesn't seem to be sitting well with people. The whole bar is just there's kind of a suppressed and undercurrent, an agitation, if you will, that's just barely not boiling over.
I think, I think I would be engaging with those conversations. I would definitely talk about how I was nearby when that happened. I saw the mother. She was terribly distraught, inconsolable. She said that the thaw just descended upon the place and wanted to send everybody home because people had come to the library looking for copies of a play they had heard on the radio, and the thaw determined that it was uh, incompatible with their mission that people should be interested in education and learning about the history of Satyrine, and by way of punishment, they took the child. I've even heard rumors that the Thaw are taking children to convert them into more Thaw. I wouldn't be surprised if they're coming after all the children in Satyrine before too long. Starting rumors.
It takes a good 5 minutes before that rumor starts making its way around Zeros.
Score.
Um,
Delightful.
just it seems like the thing to do. If we want to really get people riled up, might as well throw a little bit of speculation in there as well. Baseless accusations always work well. Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of feed into it and talk to as many people as I can.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna have a few copies of the play that that had been copied. I'm gonna have a few copies with me, and as people talk about everything, I'm gonna say I heard that they were looking for this. This has apparently been banned. We're expected to live quietly while the Thaw police the city of Satyrine with uh, no clear legal jurisdiction, and I just don't understand. This is a city of notions. This is not a city of censorship. And I'll just lend out the few copies of the play that I have, and certainly I will give it to whatever entertainment is there that evening to and encourage that person to disseminate the information as best they can.
Speaking of which, yeah, I'm gonna do that if I can talk my way into like a time slot at Zeros to play some jazz. I've got some buddies. I want to join in this smear campaign against the Thaw, but not until I've like really got an excited crowd and kind of like impressed them. And then yeah, we're gonna have a little chat.
Okay. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have you, Albion, make an interaction check.
Well, what sort of interaction am I?
Social.
Well, I mean, is this what am I accomplishing?
I want to see. We're trying to see how deeply your rumors and your innuendo is penetrating the people there.
Okay. I'm going to use whispered insight. I'm going to consult with Rainey, who's excellent at trickery and obfuscation, and I'm going to consult with him about strategy on making that happen, so I can get a +1 to my next action. And then I'm going to spend. Do I have any secrets? Nope. I can just spend the one Benet. I'll spend one interaction Benet and one hidden knowledge.
Okay,
The
talk to
hidden
me about the
knowledge.
knowledge. Yeah.
The hidden knowledge will just straight up be information I've read from the book, the book of plays. What was it? The History of the Arabast?
Yes.
Um,
Stories of the Arabast.
Stories of the Arabast. So yeah, it will just be information that I've read from Stories of the Arabast. So that should be plus. And then can I use persuasion?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that would be +3 to my roll. And a sortilege, please and thank you. Come on. Do a good job. Ah, nice. I got with my modifier, it's a 12 on my mundane die and a 7 on the magic die.
Okay. As you are sitting there drinking, over the next hour, the entire bar gets louder and louder as people get angrier and angrier about what you said. And the words and the ideas make their way around the bar. There's probably 100 people in here. And as you look around, there's not one of them that you missed.
Nice.
Billy, if you would like to perform, you are free to do so. Zero has absolutely no problems with it, which is interesting in and of itself.
That is interesting. I think I'm a known quantity, but barely.
You're not that known.
Yeah. Do I want to make this a weave? So the mood is that.
Almost like he knows what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, interesting. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think if I want to make this a weave. I don't want to do anything all that manipulative. I want a performance. I just want to make my performance better. Uh, but better is ambiguous. This isn't a joyful mood. But I may want to like calm people down a little bit so that we're in like a rational space. Um, Maybe that's the angle I'm gonna take. Or can I just put sorcery into a performance? I mean, why not? It's Invisible Sun, right?
It's up to you.
I
Whichever
don't
route
think.
you
Yeah,
want to take.
I don't think I'm gonna call this a weave. I mean, he's always weaving a little bit of magic when he performs. I think it's a second nature for him. But I just want to like take that sorcery die. I don't want to actually turn it into a weave.
Okay.
And then I will use. Let's see. So sorcery, and I will use a sortilege for +1, and I think it's also. Can I also use an interaction, Bene? Because I'm going to perform and then like say something, make some comments about the situation with the thaw.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's see what we do. Okie dokie. So that is a 9 on the mundane die. So 4, 10, 11, 12. And a 9 on the sorcery die. And I want.
Okay.
Most of all, I want their attention. But I'm not making this like. It's kind of a dark performance.
All right. Let me interject here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to draw a card for this.
Mm.
And the card is the Forbidden Game. Notions, cats, clocks, wind, danger, intellect, strategy, and balance. The temptation to partake in the game is strong, but you know you shouldn't. It's dangerous. It's forbidden, almost like causing a civil war. It's far more than it seems. It may appear to be a simple diversion, a pastime, but it's so much deeper, so much more engrossing, and so much more addicting. Some have lost their very souls to its intricacies. It's not just that people want to win, although that's part of it. The game's complexities draw them in. Every move is a colossal undertaking. The game is more intricate than the real world that it simulates. That's the impossible thing. The game is bigger on the inside than the outside. It's bigger than the world in which it's played. Okay. As you do this,
No comment.
as you do this, you suddenly gain, I'm going to call it an innate insight as to how how information and the way in which it's disseminated influences not individuals but groups. Okay. And so I'm going to do something that probably isn't strictly according to the rules, but I'm going to do it anyway because we're going for the rule of cool here. You're going to take a level of competency in a skill that we're going to call social manipulation.
Oh boy. Which is different than persuasion.
Which is different than persuasion.
Yeah.
Persuasion is about, in my head anyway, persuasion is about one person. You're talking about groups of people. You're talking about not manipulating one person's thoughts. You're manipulating groupthink. And that's strategy, that's discourse, that's elocution on a completely different level. Now, tell me what you would like to persuade them to do.
So this is going to, I can't be as eloquent as he might be in this moment, but
I understand completely.
Bill is going to make an argument for like a rational way forward. So he's not really like fanning the flames of revolution. It's more like we all know that this is wrong, but we have to arm ourselves with knowledge is what we have to do. I want to convince these people to learn the truth over, throwing Molotov cocktails and causing riots. I want to make this very much an argument for really learning what's happening and being more invested in it, and exposing it and things of that nature. So there we go.
So what's really interesting about this is at the end of this speech that you give, it obviously works the way you intended, okay? With 2 9s, obviously. And we're talking about, just regular people here. But it reminds you of another speech that you were on the receiving end of at the very beginning of this campaign that was given by an old friend of yours. In his home at a party.
We need to find him still. Still a little worried about the guy. Interesting. Okay.
You sound a lot like Kudash did. Almost as if there was something similar driving the two of you.
Yeah. That's delightful.
As you turn and walk back, out of the corner of your eye, you see something that catches your eye. And you turn to look at it, and you see the bartender at Zero's outright grinning at you.
I give him a little nod.
You don't think you've ever seen him smile.
Interesting.
Claire
is on her way to Seru
to
get a stabby from the stabbiness.
All right. You follow the directions given to you by Savion Clay, and you find your way to a building that's rather unlike any that you've ever seen before. The building is round, perfectly smooth and entirely made of frosted glass.
Interesting.
You can see you can see that there's light inside, suggesting that somebody is somebody's there, somebody's awake. But yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the door and knock on it.
the door opens and you see a tall, balding man. He's maybe 40-ish. Very, very slender. I don't want to say thin. I don't want to say he's like a beanpole or anything, but he's certainly not muscular or anything by that nature. Wearing very, very loose fitting clothes, and he opens the door and he peers out at you and, can I help you?
I'm looking for Saru. Savian Clay sent me.
I'm Saru. Savian. Now that's a name that I haven't heard in a while. It's been a long time since I've spent time with my old friend Savion. That reminds me, I need to look up Incalia, see how she's doing. Thank you. That's, and he kind of taps his forehead to remind himself. So yes, I am Saru. This is my home. How may I help you, friend Savion Clay?
He said you'd be able to help me get a sword and learn how to use it. A special sword.
Yes, I manufacture all sorts of such devices. I I don't know if what I'm capable of doing is what you need. As you see, I work in glass. As you look at him, you notice that not only is his house glass, at least his right arm is made entirely out of glass as well.
Savion was of the opinion that you'd be able to help. I've started a bit of a fight, you see, and I want to ensure my success. He says that he cannot guarantee it with your help, but he said he'd give me a shot. The Thaw are displeased with me.
Saru opens his mouth and then quickly shuts it and looks around behind you and to both sides, and then opens the door. Come in.
So go in.
And then he closes the door and he claps his hands, and the building turns dark. Like it goes from frosted glass to an almost black tint.
Okay.
You wish to take on the Thaw.
Kind of already started picking the fight.
Are you trying to get yourself killed?
Dead already.
He raises a finger as if he was about to say something else, and then he stops and he looks at you, kind of cocks his head to the side. He looks at you. Is that right?
Yes, I died in the shadow, and then I was resurrected here without the paperwork to do so. So I'm dead already. I might as well make sure I'm going out again with a bang. Plus, a little justice, a little vengeance. I've already killed one Thaw. I want to kill more. I want to avenge all of those that they have taken, those that they have harmed. And perhaps you know the name Angular Serpentine? He's pissed at me too.
Without looking, he kind of reaches behind him, and there's a chair there. And he sits down heavily in the chair, and he looks at you, and just he's got this dumbfounded look on his face. Like, I woke up this morning, and this isn't at all the way I saw this day going when I got to this point.
Yes. Do you have a radio?
Yes.
Have you been listening to any new broadcasts lately?
No, I don't think I've used it in several months, as I recall.
All right. She's going to go over, turn on his radio, adjust the dials, and then wait as the broadcast comes through. And naming of the names and the thought of taking them, and then they start the play, and then after the play is over, they do another broadcast of the naming of the names and the thought having taken them.
He sits back and listens, and this is 45 minutes, right? The plays aren't short. And as he listens, you can see him start to get a little angry. Well, then. You say you need a weapon.
I do.
And you wish to use it against the Thaw.
And my sister.
And
But
who's your sister?
that's a whole nother, you don't want to know. Just she's part demon that fell to the dark, and we'll just leave it at that, because that's a whole mess you don't want a part of. I just need to be able to stab her a lot because she wants to eat my heart.
You see him close his eyes, and he starts almost talking to himself. His mouth's moving. It looks like he's saying something, but no sound comes out. And he sits there like that for about 5 minutes. And finally, he opens his eyes, and he looks at you, and he says, "I can do what you ask. No, it will not. It will not guarantee that they cannot touch you. However, I can guarantee that you will be able to harm them."
Excellent.
The materials for this work will be expensive. But I will give you the labor for free. as a favor to my old friend.
All right. Much appreciated. Do I need to acquire the materials or simply pay you in mage coin?
Mage coin will be fine. 20 ought to cover it.
Okay. She pulls 20 mage coins out and places them in front of him.
He slowly pulls them towards him and puts them in a pocket. Very well. I will contact you when it's ready. I would expect that it will be at the least 3 months.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you. And she's going to head out to go find her buddies.
Okay. Going back to the car, or are you going to just wander far town?
I'm going to go back to my car and say, okay, Screech, let's go see our team.
Okay. You go back to the car, Screech starts up, and he drives you to Zero's.
Of course, I should have known. She's going to head into Zero's and head straight for Albion. And unless Billy's free, and then she'll head straight for Billy too. So
They're together.
all right, she'll head for Billy and Albion.
And you don't need to make a perception check to know that you just walked into a very angry bar.
Okay.
Lots of loud conversation. The snippets that you hear are all about the plays, about the kidnappings, about the thaw, about
Okay. I will join Albion and Billy at the table and inform the two of them of I'll have a Stabby McStabs in 3 months.
okay, go.
You'll defend yourself somehow.
Hi, boys.
What are we doing next?
Well, I've got 3 months before my sword will be ready. Maybe we should get out of Saturnine for a bit.
How do you feel about grain?
Sure. Let's go. It'll be fun.
Very well. I think I can handle that. I will go and buy myself some appropriate outdoor gear. I'd probably look like I'm dressing for, 1940s pulp fiction adventure magazine in my safari gear, but I have the little hat and the knee-high boots and the jodhpur breeches and the khaki jacket and all
love
of the accoutrement. And yeah, I will make myself ready. I'll get myself a machete to cut down the plant life and all of that. But most of it is really just about the fashion, if we're being honest.
Makes perfect sense.
I spend a small fortune on all of these things. I want the best quality of everything, and at least 3 pairs of every kind of garment, and a smart rucksack to carry it in. So I have to do a little bit of shopping in advance, and then when I'm ready, I will. I'll say to everybody, I can take us all to the green if.
Okay, so you're shopping. Based on what you said, we're gonna say that you're about 80 gem orbs in on just clothes and gear. Claire, Billy, are you doing anything to prep before you go to the green?
Yeah, Claire's gonna stock up on food and sparkly gel pens and because Teacup is from the green, so I'm gonna be stocking up on various things that people in the green would like. I'll have done my goetic research as to what the creatures of the green like and make sure that I'm stocking up. I'll have made sure that I paid my demon buddy his 10 cows.
Okay.
Billy gets some whiskey, I think, and thinks about it a little bit more, and also gets some water.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
He looks at his rumpled suit, and he's like, "That's pretty good." Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Albion, go ahead and do your thing.
All right, I will. I will use the spell Color Door, and a green wooden door sort of springs up from the ground. I would say the frame around it is just like vines growing up, and wood sort of filling in the space in between, uh, and there is a crystal handle, an invisible, clear glass crystal handle that I reach forward and turn, and as I open it up, the smell of the green, the foliage, the flowers, the the musky scent of animals, all of that wafts through, and I step through to the gate of the green.
Claire will sneeze, cover her mouth with the thing, and step through after him. Nature, it's on me.
Did we need to stop at the pharmacy? Excuse me, at the apothecary to get you something for the allergy?
No, I'll be all right in a few minutes.
I'm assuming Billy goes with him as well.
Yep. Billy walks in,
All right.
his suit and his thin leather shoes.
The three of you step through the door, and that is where we will end the session for today.
Perfect.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with me and playing. That was a lot of fun. Shout outs, things that you want to promote, things you're working on, things that, go.
I always have Low Talk. So, season 2 of Low Talk on Heathen Cantina starts on Wednesday.
Heathen
And,
Cantina.
Yep, good channel. Yeah, we're probably over the break. We've been playing other characters because there's a significantly high likelihood that we're all going to die. So we're ready in case that happens, and it should be a blast.
Fair enough. Jeff.
Nothing really to announce here. Thanks for watching, and I had a lot of fun today.
Awesome. Joanne.
Nothing on my end. Just a reminder that we're going to be at RavenCon, the 21st through the 24th. But I don't think that affects our Invisible Sun stream.
No, we're on the 16th, and then we're on the 30th. So Invisible Sun won't be affected. But hey, if you want to join us in person, you have to be on the East Coast. Come hang out at RavenCon. We'll both be running events there. I'm doing a Numenera, and she's going to do Cyberpunk Red. And maybe we'll do a pickup game or something like that at some point too. Who knows? But it'll be a lot of fun, and we'd love to meet you. So if you get time and you're in the area, feel free to come look for us. We promise not to make it weird, at least not too weird. I can't promise not to make it weird. I'm sorry. I'm weird. Also, Manapot Studios. If you get a second, check them out. They're a lot of fun. They've got a Blades in the Dark game that they're playing called Streets of Gotham. That obviously superheroes, Gotham City, and their European group is running Vampire the Masquerade right now. So that's kind of cool. They are not currently running Hole in the World. They're taking a hiatus. Their GM actually just got engaged to his longtime girlfriend. So yay for him. Congratulations for them. We love you, Jeff. Golly, I'm an idiot. We love Jeff too, but we love both of them, and they're great cast. So go check them out too. Other than that, I think we're taking the night off, so no stream tonight. And from our Citadel to yours, happy gaming.
Happy gaming.
Happy game.
Guys.